Yes. How you?
Wow, you're looking so slim and so fit. Uh, welcome again, Shweta.
Yeah.
So today we will do about the angels. Are you interested in that topic?
Yes. Completely interested.
Okay.
And
So
I
let me.
came to know about this angel thing through you only, Anu. When you when you taught me this meditation, na, in the first, like in Bagad, you used to do that sort of cleaning for me. I was completely devastated that time. You really helped me a lot. Yeah.
Thank you. Like you also make me remember all those days, and it feels very good. So let's begin on that note. I will start with how I came to know about angels, and then we'll go further and further.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So, I went through a difficult phase in my 20s when my parents were sick, and about a decade, like first my father got sick, and then my mother got sick, and then my mother passed away in 2002, and in 2003 I was in US, and uh, there's something completely shifted for me. Like from that 10 years, a decade of, just struggling through hospitals and all that. And I was also working and to start a work and do a work and change work and, in the software industry, like go through all those courses. I mean, now that I remember that I have done a lot in my 20s, but at that time it was going one day like that.
One day at a time. Yeah.
Yeah, so it
Yeah.
was like that. And of course, I bonded with my mother a lot, with my sister a lot in that time period when we took care of our parents, and that gave me. I'm actually a person of because of that I can say, but it was also a quite a time. And then when I went to US, it was like I had this room, and I had a suitcase, and I remember like I breathing like as if I'm breathing for the first time. Like you can say a Delhi girl. I was a Delhi girl at that time, not Mumbai. So Delhi person from maybe because I was not breathing enough. That could be one thing in Delhi. The other thing I found out later is that Delhi is like that dust particles are so much that we hardly breathe here. We somehow survive.
Yeah.
So to go
Yeah.
from that level to a very fresh and a very good in Philadelphia, very like a clean environment, that is one thing. And then the other thing is that the weather was beautiful. But the third, mainly one thing was that there is something shifted in my space. And then I was feeling very happy, very light, very like this. And of course, there is that happiness of going to another country, and for that is that also was
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like an achievement.
Achievement. Yes.
So
In that
yeah,
age, just 20s, which where we are taking a shape, I mean to say, going into adulthood, like, yeah.
yeah. I was not in my 20s, like 20s was my struggle, but late 20s I moved to
Late
US.
20s. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then somehow I had my laptop, and that was my family, friends, food, everything, water, everything. And that time, no laptop, but had a desktop. I purchased
Yeah.
a desktop. And then through that desktop, I started, connecting to whatever right now is known as the New Age. If you have known Louise Hay, Louise Hay is
Yeah.
the pioneer or one among the pioneer leaders in this New Age era, at least in the US. So I don't know
Louis
more
Hay
of
is, yeah, and the
mostly.
this I have gone through like some parts, bits and pieces, like about it is mainly about the positive affirmation, and then this is na secrets.
Yeah, that time Secret Book also came out later on. It
Yeah,
was a
yeah,
big thing, Secret, when it came out. But prior to that, in certain churches, in
yeah.
India we have temples, so there it is like, there are certain kind of churches. There are, so I've forgotten now how many kind of churches, but there are, say Protestant, let us say in Protestant, Catholic, this, that. And when you go there, you will be told that like I'm a Christian. So when we introduce, say, I am Shweta, so you say, I am Jain, I am this. Like, there you
Yes,
go,
yes.
they'll say, I was raised Catholic, I was raised Norman, I was raised this, I was raised this. Though they are all Christians, but different sects of Christianity. So,
Yeah.
one sect of Christianity, one type of temples, they encouraged this kind of new age talks, and there were leaders, and this is how that new age movement, after that hippie and that crazy 60s era went there. It was a new age era mostly, and these
Yeah.
leaders, they came up with this affirmation idea. Her famous book is How to Heal Yourself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Yeah.
must have. Yeah, I have that book here. I have that book here.
Yeah,
I will take
yeah,
it out
yeah.
when I get some time. So it is
So,
like, you
you
know,
know, Vishwa, na, I'm sorry, I'm just interrupting. You know, Vishwa from Gujarat, still I'm in touch with her. So she told me that you please read that book, okay? Because she has done some courses through Louise Hay, okay? Not with through her, but in the same line. So she told me that Shweta, please just read that book. And then suddenly, because see, that is a KF connection.
no,
Yeah,
definitely. I have also spoken with Vishwa a lot, and I see her pictures, though I'm only Facebook, through Facebook, I'm connected with her.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So all that, that is the Gujarat team.
Yeah, Gujarat. Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened is that I started listening to Hayhouse, and also there is public television there in USA where I was there in East Coast. So through that I got introduced to this new age, and in the cafes of, say, Philadelphia, where I was living in King of Prussia and those suburbs where I was living, there is a huge mall there. At that time it was
Okay.
the second or third mall in King of Prussia, but it began as the first biggest mall in whole of USA. So anyway, my attraction to the mall was that there were enough stores there, like the Starbucks and these cafes there, and there, I don't know here maybe also, but there is a library kind of, or there is a bookstore and a cafe. Like, mostly I have seen that there are cafe and bookstore together, and that's how
Yeah.
people come there and sit and, you know, read books and read their own books, or read, you know, buy from that, and then so that was my weekend, like Friday evening to Monday, like Sunday evening, I did only that. And through those books I got, and anyways, so I went to libraries. Their public libraries are so good, you can have any subject books there. And these cafes and that radio, I got introduced to new age like anything. And
Yeah.
so that was my interest. And then I came to know about this Doreen Hay, Doreen Virtue.
Doreen Virtue. I
Yeah.
know.
And then
You read
yeah, I also have
cards
her
now.
cards. Yeah. And
Yeah. Yeah.
so Radleigh Valentine, who is now more famous with the cards, was not even known at that time. So Doreen
Oh,
Virtue was the person who did this. And
yes.
I used to
Yes.
listen to her program like anything. And that's why my motivation to do this weekly videos is that whatever I learned is, like, at least I will say credit to all those new age teachers. They came, and it was an online radio, free online radio at that time, and it went about to 12 years. I was listening till 2 years back, till that they made it paid, and I
Yeah.
don't have. So I used to listen to those programs like something, and then I
Yeah.
was introduced to angels, and because I was also living all alone, though most of the time I had roommates, but you know, there is that thing that, am I all alone?
Yeah.
So that thought triggered me that, am I all alone? Why do I dream so much? And my whole ideas as to, like, is dream giving us messages? Are there people around us who give us messages? And I connected to my parents, like my father and mother, uh, in a way which I had not even connected when I am in their physical presence. At that time, my mother had passed away, my father was back in India. But my relationship, even in US with my mother and father and my siblings, was very strong. And I had that, you know, like that communication, say remote communication. And in
Yeah.
that time period, I came to know about angels, and And at that time, I actually didn't, bother to learn the names of the angels.
Yeah.
So in angel therapy, if you know, everybody starts with, okay, this angel is for that, this angel is for that, this angel is
Yeah.
for that. So I have, for me, it is that angelic presence.
Yeah.
So one is our guides who are there with us, like say even before our birth, and they are guiding us. Then the second is that angel realm. And angel realm, the difference about the angel realm and those guides are quite, like for me, this is my experience that they are quite soft
Yeah.
and they give you subtle messages. Okay, they give you messages, but these angels are quite loud. If you get connected to them, they will make your brain, like do this, do that.